Now let's see how we can install Python. So the simplest way to do is go to your Windows here and then open the Microsoft Store. Um, then you will get this window. Here you can search for Python. There will be different kinds of versions, whichever you need you can install because some companies will have other versions with their legacy code. So you need to check which one works or you just take the latest one which is like here I see 3.12 is there and also a 3.13 RC is there. And there are also other tools which you want to install, but let's just concentrate on this one 3.13 I'm going to take. Just click on the get. So that's the simplest way for installing Python. All others you have to use pip install and other commands, so which I wouldn't advise if you're starting from the basics. But just once you click that, this is going to install a Python package on your laptop or computer, which then you can start using Python. So once it's downloaded, once it's installed, you can open. We'll just start doing parallelly. Open a command prompt, cmd, and to verify if the Python is already there. So I have opened this command prompt. Yeah, you see this is getting installed and it says installed. Now what you can do is you can click open, and what it will do is it will open a something like this same. It's just a command Python 3.3 version, and then you have this sort of thing. Here you can start issuing Python commands like help. You have like some of the things, and basically you can start using Python commands. But to verify which version, you can use the command prompt which I just told, like this one, and then here you go and type minus version. So this will show the version which we have installed here. And from now on, you can start compiling Python code and commands. You can create Python files and then use this Python and followed by this file name, and then start executing some of the Python files, which I'll show you in the next slide. So now what I'm going to do is I just created a folder in anywhere you can in your computer. I created it in documents, Python tutorials. And here you can create new files. I'm going to just create a simple text document with just .py. Remember, you have to name it like .py. Basic Python file. That's what you understand. So open it in any editor. Like I have here Notepad. I can open it here. So let me open the same file in Notepad. I'm just going to make it a bit smaller and then basically drag drop here. So this file is there now. Now you can basically start coding in Python. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write something like this. Yes. So I'm not in that folder, so I need to go to that folder so that it's more easier. So you can type do and then tab, and then if you go to documents, cd is string directory. Then inside so CV documents I already typed. When inside dir, you will see all the directories inside. Now I'm going to go into the Python folder and then again dir, which shows all the files, and I have tutorials. You can type tu and then put the tab, then it will fill all of it. Then you have dir. So there is a test.python. So here we are going to write some simple code. So um, simple Python code. Let's take a simple Python example. So you can use any there. You can use lot of examples in different websites to start programming. But the more you start typing the code, better it is. Like let's start with some of the Python programming examples um, from one of the websites. Like let's say print is the easiest one. So I'm going to print it like that here. So this is just going to print an output like here. Uh, so Python and then just Python. So this is just going to print you an output. It's not going to do anything else other than printing an output, because printing is something like you just print an output to for the user to see. And once you have done that, then you know how to basically write a basic Python program. And there are a lot of syntax which available for Pythons, which we will go one by one. So this is just to tell you how you can basically compile a simple Python program without any complexity. So if you're able to do that, then we have moved to the next step. So now we are going to write a simple program where you can track the hand. It's a bit of a complex program, it's not simple, but still, let's see how it works. So there is for this, you need to create a folder. I have already created a simple folder called hand tracking in under Python. Then you need to make a sort of a setup, like you can use a sort of a virtual environment manager like Miniconda, and which basically separates different Python projects. So let's use the commands to do that. So I am in tutorials, then I'm going to go into hand. Uh, if I want to go back one folder, I just do this, then I hit hand tracking, then I so there is no file here. So now I'm going to create a sort of a virtual environment here. To say conda create create minus p and then slash env. If you're not following the syntax, it's fine. Just type whatever I'm typing. Because so here you need to put the Python version. So let's see what version we have, like Python minus minus. So we have this one. So let's just copy this. Uh, so for installing mini Conda, I go to this website docs.anaconda. This one. That I will put it in the chat or in the tutorial. So go here and then you'll see here Miniconda Windows, and then you can download it. So once you download that file, it will be in the downloads thing, and then you can just double click it, and then you can just follow the steps like this. Uh, so I just window, so every and then just Miniconda. So it just takes the default folder under your username and then installs this. Create shortcuts. So you can just take the, you can add this one, contact other applications. This what it means is you will add it to the path, and since it's like if you add it to the path, then it will be easily visible. So for now, if you're a beginner, just add it and then install it. Then it will go and grab all the files it needs from the internet, that is the Miniconda website, and then install it locally in your computer. So once it's completed, you can click next and then finish, and then you can even get started so that we see what's happening. So it just opens a help file, which is like, and then see before you start basically. So this is the basic thing. It's going to create some basic default environments, which we are what we are trying to do. We'll do the same thing. Like, let's see what happens. It is still not recognizing. Maybe if I have to open and close the command prompt, let me see if it works. Otherwise, we have to find. See, this has been already installed. So if I click this, then it was not finding it. And let me see if we uh, Anaconda. Oh, yeah. So see here now I have this base. The program is installed, but I'm just going to use the command prompt because it's a bit more simpler as we are now just starting, and I will just go to this folder where I am in see users and then documents. Python and this is the folder I am. I'm just going to copy and then go to this part. There are many ways to do things in IT and software. We follow just one path and then build for it. So that's why I'm just following a specific pattern here. Now, if you see there is nothing here, then I'm going to implement the same command which we tried to do for mm, setting up the Conda environment. So let me see. Okay. So go here and then now I'm going to type Conda. Let me just type Conda and see if it works. Yeah. So if you just type Conda, it is doing something that means it is trying to, the package is already installed. That's how you verify if something is installed. So now I'm going to type Conda create minus p dot slash png and Python I have 3.13. So I'm going to type this and see what happens. Oh, it is doing, it's creating some JSON and it is failed and it is not creating the path properly. So we need to find out why. So here I'm going to create an environment and how we do that you can follow the Conda website here and then you go to the folder where you want to create. I'm just going to create like Conda create minus n and any environment. I have already created a hand track one. It's for test. I'm just going to create a hand track two. So that's just a name. You can create whatever you want as the name. So I have created, and then you can activate and deactivate like this. Activate is Conda, activate hand track two, and then deactivate is this one. So I'm going to activate Conda, activate and track two. And then now this is it is activated. So now I'm going to install the new packet called MediaPipe, which is quite often used in the sort of tracking algorithm application. So I'm just MediaPipe, and this is going to install this package. So what is MediaPipe? I'll just go quickly here. MediaPipe. MediaPipe is okay. So MediaPipe. Not sure. Let's see if I'm in the right media pipe upgrade for beginners. Okay, so media pipe here is used for a lot of detecting and tracking solutions, and it's also linked to artificial intelligence. And if you install that package, you can do a lot of things, which I will explain slowly. Here, to have a sort of understanding on this solution, let's have if there's any good tutorials on it. I will explain it later, but it's just for you to give an idea like what it does and this. So we have installed the media pipe and now you see it has grabbed a lot of packages and it has done some things. So now what we will do is we will implement a simple code of a hand tracking algorithm and see how it works. So for that I have already of the code, and what we will do is we'll just use that code to see how this hand tracking algorithm works. We have the code here already, so what I'm just going to do is open that file. I have closed that file, so let me just open it again. So you have hand tracking. Let me see. File is. Um, so now I have this code, so it is importing media pipe as a variable and you have the solutions and this is all coded. This PDF pipe does all the hard work for you, so you don't have to do much here. You can follow this code. I'll just explain briefly. It will initialize hand objects here in this part of the code, and then it will initialize the web camera. Here I have If you have many cameras, you can just put zero as the default camera, one will be the external camera, and just goes on. And there's a function here, MP hands, which tracks the hands. And these are some variables which is basically used for the media pipe. I'm not going into too much detail in this. And then here you have this while loop, which basically runs if the cap is opened. That is, if the camera is opened, and then it reads the data from the camera, and this is being fed into the frame. Yeah, so the whatever you receive from the camera is fed into the frame, and then you this does the image processing. So here is where the drawing happens for the hands, and then you draw this thing. So this, you see that this is a loop, and it constantly runs to show the images. And then finally, when you come out of the application, it closes. So I'm just going to run the application and then see. So here you see it will just open up the window where you can see the images, that is the camera output with Python. So on the right side, as I said, is the command window where it takes some time because it has to start the camera, it connects with the hardware, and then it opens this. It's just not only the software here, what we are doing. So this is a very good exercise. If you want, you can do the same thing at home. If you just have a camera, just execute the code and follow the steps. You should be able to do exactly what I do. Like that is, you should be able to track the hand, and it will just draw the points here. So now you have, see, the application is running, and you can see my face. And then now if I raise the hand, you see that it is pointing it, and I can also turn it this side. It just marks this, and also it also draws the point. So with this data, you can do a lot of things, like you can you have the coordinates, so you can even use it in virtual reality to detect some objects and hold some objects and those things. Yeah. So this is a very simple example how what OpenCV does. It's a great library. It's open source software where you can basically run a lot of applications, and do look into it. I'll just show you OpenCV. I'm not showing you OpenCV. So here, OpenCV. This is the library, which are open source computer software algorithm which you can use to have a look at it. It's not about OpenCV. Mostly, you see, they have also face recognition code, which is probably mostly the same code which I have here. So just to try it like this code. This is a very good practice for you to practice Python. You see these coordinates here. These are the coordinates which is very important, with which you can do a lot of things. Yeah. So these coordinates you can even print it out here. So this is being marked here with this things here, connections and these things. So you can, for landmarks, then it is drawing here. So you can, if you manipulate the code a little bit, then you can basically access these values and then get these coordinates. And with that coordinates, you can further develop the applications. So to close this application, for now, we have not programmed much about just closing. You can just say Control C. This will just kill the application basically, and then you come out of this. So this is a very simple example of Python programming with a simple example. It's also exciting to track the hands. So this is a simple code for hand tracking algorithm. It has a function, and